All right, what's going on, guys? Happy Thanksgiving. We've got 3 NFL games. We're going to talk about all of those, and I'm going to give you my 8 best bets. But before we do that, guys, subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. We are doing very, very well. So happy with how things are going. If you guys were betting NBA with the picks I gave yesterday, we went 5-3. A little bit of a bummer, but 5-3, always a good day. We'll take that. All right, so another thing for you guys in the comments down below. I want to run a bankroll challenge. We're going to do it in the Discord. Every bet posted. What's your guys' starting bankroll? What are we talking about here? Don't say like $10,000. Nothing stupid. Like, what's a normal bankroll? From what I could look up, it looks like it's like between 50 and $100. But let me know. I'd like to do a bankroll challenge to see if we can, see what we can get up to. All right, first game. Bears and Detroit. So this is going to be played in a dome. We don't have to worry about the weather at Ford Field. Chicago's defense, they've been okay. I mean, they're prone to giving up points. Like, I thought they would be giving up less. They've been really susceptible to rushing touchdowns this year. They're 22nd in the league. They've been giving up some deep passes. So they rank 22nd in terms of that. Rushing long, they're 26th. So they've got some issues they've got to shore up. Passing, they're kind of middle of the road. Detroit side of the ball, they give up a lot of passing yards. They're 26th in passing yards allowed, 29th in passing attempts. Makes sense. They are usually playing quite a bit ahead, so teams are forced to throw the ball. Conversely, they haven't had teams really run all over them. They're 4th in the league in terms of rushing yards allowed. In this game, I think Caleb Williams has a decent day. Now that we see the line at 9.5, I think the Lions cover. I mean, their offense is just simply too potent. We've got a couple of injuries. Amon St. Brown is questionable. Montgomery is questionable. Both are expected to play. It sounds like Montgomery could have played last week. They just held him out. I know I needed him to get, 2 more rushing yards, and he was on the sidelines with his helmet on. I'm like, put him in the fucking game, and they didn't. So he should be good, and he's going to be playing his own old team. So if you're into that sort of thing, right, is he going to get worked up and have a great game? I don't know. I mean, I think they run the crap out of the ball, though. I like Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't really want to touch his line. I like his anytime touchdown. But didn't go really heavy on the Lions side of the ball here in terms of plays for today, but you can. I mean, I'm definitely going to have some type of alt line play with Gibbs in it to some degree, but in this game, I think Lions should be able to get the job done. I think they probably win by 2 touchdowns, to be honest. Next game, Cowboys and the Giants. This will be an interesting game. We've got an over-under of 37.5. I like the over. 37.5 is a little weak in my opinion. Now, that said, why is that? Because we have Drew Lock going for the Giants, and we have Cooper Rush going for the Cowboys. I think Cooper Rush showed last week that he's getting more comfortable in that offense. I thought he did very well against Washington. I mean, his throws were on point. We saw CeeDee Lamb kind of resurge a little bit. I think his 6.5 reception line is probably going to be pretty popular. I don't necessarily want to touch that reception line, to be honest, but I think the Cowboys are able to run the ball. So one play I do like today is Rico Dowdle over 15.5 rush attempts. He's only over this in 2 games, but he had 19 in the last game versus Washington, and the Giants are 21st in rush attempts. So that is not good. So I think they are able to run the ball. And Darius Slayton over 20.5 receiving yards. So I like that line for him. You can look at Neighbors over 6.5 receptions. It's just dodgy, man. With Drew Lock, I don't know what type of relationship they've built, right? Route familiarities, things like that. Slayton, I'm just counting on him catching 1 pass. I mean, he can catch that in 1 pass, but I think he catches 2 or 3 today. But it's definitely Dallas in this situation, in my opinion. We just haven't seen much out of this offense. Another play for the Giants that I like, I didn't pull the trigger and I didn't put it on the best bets, which was on my probables card, was Tyrone Tracy over rush attempts. So that is something I'm going to continue to look at, but didn't make it on the official plays. All right, last game here. It's the Dolphins and the Packers. This one should be very cold, but should be a pretty good game. I think that we'll see both teams score a lot of points. I mean, over-under is 47.5, and I would probably lean more towards the over than the under. I think both teams are able to kind of have their way a little bit in this one. I like Josh Jacobs to have a good day. Didn't put it on the card, but I think he probably has a pretty decent day. His rushing attempts line's at 17.5. It's right on that edge for me, in my opinion. I did kind of want to go towards the Devon Achane under 13.5 rush attempts, but I didn't put it on the card today. But that is something I was leaning towards, maybe even like a Tyreek Hill over receptions. It's a little bit scary, but thought about doing that. Or Jaden Waddles is 3.5. I kind of like that. If we look at Green Bay, they've been giving up some receptions to wide receivers, so that could be an angle if you wanted to take it. But I like the Dolphins plus 3.5. We see this offense. I mean, it's just an entirely different team with Tua. Jordan Love, in my opinion, just too many mental issues and miscues that he makes, and I think Miami makes him pay for it. Wouldn't be shocked if we see at least one defensive touchdown from Miami. We could see a pick six, something like that, but I can definitely see Jordan Love throwing like 2 picks in this game, and that ends up being the difference. So it's Miami for me in this spot. The only thing that makes me nervous is the cold weather. Sometimes we have not seen Miami show up when the weather gets really cold. So that's the only thing that makes me nervous about taking Miami today. All right, let's get our best bets and get you guys out of here. Like I said, guys, join the Discord. I'll be posting plays in there. There's some other plays that I like that I'll be posting. Completely free to join that Discord. All right, first play on the card today is going to be Rome Odunze over 3.5 receptions. I think DJ Moore is going to be a very popular play to go over 4.5. I'm going to go a little different direction. I like Rome Odunze over 3.5 receptions. He's over this line in 3 of his last 4 games. Detroit, they're bad. They're number 1 in terms of receptions allowed to the wide receiver position. So I think you could go any angle here. You can take Keenan Allen. You could take DJ Moore. You can take Rome Odunze. Hell, they might all hit it. I do think Caleb Williams is passing a ton this game. That's why I like his over 33.5 pass attempts at minus 130. That's pretty much across the board. You can find that on whatever book you want. And then I also like his over 221.5 passing yards. He's over this in 4 of 10 games, but I mean, we've got a line of 9.5. They're not just going to be trying to run it down Detroit's throat. They're going to have to pass. So 221 actually feels a little light. Rico Dowdle over 15.5 rush attempts. We just talked about this one. He's only over this in 2 games, but 19 last game. And the Giants, like I said, they just give up a ton of rushing attempts, almost 29 rushing attempts a game. I don't see Zeke rushing the ball 14 or 15 times, so that leaves Rico here. Darius Slayton over 20.5 receiving yards. He's over this line in 7 of 10 games. I think we're getting really good value here because it's Drew Lock. Drew Lock hasn't started a game since almost a year ago. I believe it was December 18th versus the Eagles. So he's probably not going to throw for a ton of yards. I think his line's 190 something. So we've got a pretty low line, but I like Darius Slayton to cover this. Next one, Jonnu Smith over 4.5 receptions. This guy's been an absolute animal, especially the last 2 games. He's gotten 8 and 11 targets in the last 2 games. And we've seen Green Bay give up some receptions to tight ends. They gave up 6 to Kittle last week. They gave up 8 to McBride, and they gave up 7 to Colby Parkinson. So they've allowed tight ends to get some pretty good amount of receptions here. And Jonnu Smith's having a hell of a year. So I like this spot for him. Next one is going to be Cowboys team total over 20.5. A little scary, but it's plus money. I got the Cowboys scoring 24 today, so that's where I'm at there. That might be a fade. If you don't like that spot, certainly fade it. But I think we see Cooper Rush continue to be successful this week. And then a little 3-game 7-point teaser. We're going to go Lions, Cowboys, Dolphins 7-point teaser at plus 130. So those are going to be my 8 favorite plays. If you guys have any that you like, comment down below. And then, like I said, we'll be posting some plays to the Discord later today. And I'll catch you in the next video.